Okay, so I want to record a really quick video to tell a story that I tell over and over and over on the phone so that I have it readily available and can share it with different people. This video is about why we start with an animal-based model when there's significant health problems, and why, in my opinion, it is the fastest way to better health, including fixing the microbiome, reducing inflammation, and fixing metabolic issues. So all three of the primary causes of disease can be fixed fairly quickly when using an animal-based model. Now, you've heard people talk about keto, you've heard people talk about carnivore, you've heard people talk about paleo, myself included. And they're all just facets of an ancestral diet. But why do we use one over the other, and what is animal-based? The best way I can describe animal-based, first of all, is carnivore lite. So it's not strict carnivore, it's not only animal products. It does incorporate some plants that are low in toxin. This allows you to have more variety, more flavor, a little bit of snazz and pizzazz, so you don't get bored so fast. But it still gives you all the optimization of a carnivore diet because all of the 9 major plant toxins are eliminated. Okay, so let's go back and talk about plant toxins for just a second. There are 9 primary plant toxins. Why? Think about it this way. If an animal wants to get away from you, it has legs, wings, or fins to do so. So an animal can run, swim, or fly away, and that is their primary defense mechanism. But what does a plant do? It has roots. It can't move. So it has to have a way to defend itself against predators. This is just common sense. So think about how a plant defends itself. If a plant has thorns, that's its defense mechanism. If it's ugly, like an avocado, and it looks rotten on the outside, something would be deterred from eating it. That's its defense mechanism. However, most plants, their defense mechanism is a poison. And that is because it doesn't have a way to get away from you. So it has to protect the next generation, meaning the reproductive organs of the plant are usually the most toxic. So very often, the fruit, the seeds, that's your most toxic part. The part we usually eat, right? And so we were designed to eat seasonally and locally. We were designed to go long periods of time without eating. We were designed to eat a heavily meat-based diet and utilize the hunt as the primary and the gather to fill in the gaps when there wasn't something else available, or to augment and supplement the hunt or the fish, right? So that is how our diet should be, but that isn't how our diet is now. This is what I call biological mismatch. Our current living condition doesn't match how we were designed. The entire food pyramid is fictitious. It was designed to help farmers and the government that subsidized the farmers. It was designed to force you to eat things that were not nutritious and would eventually hurt you. The more of these plant toxins you consume, the more they build up in the body and create problems. So when the FDA and the USDA created the food pyramid, which it comes from the USDA, to promote grains as the primary source of our diet, it had nothing to do with human health or your nutritional needs. It had to do with what they were selling. And when those grains, which happen to have the highest quantity of the top 2 toxins in them, and the more of that you eat, the sicker that we became. And that is why, since the advent of the food pyramid, obesity has risen, metabolic disease has risen, diseases of all types, but autoimmune conditions didn't exist prior to that. And all 550 autoimmune conditions, which by the way are just one thing, all were created from that. So all grains, corn, barley, wheat, sorghum, rye, rice, quinoa, all the grains and pseudograins contain phytic acid and lectins, the top two toxins in the plant kingdom. And the part that we eat is the highest concentration of those. Those need to be eliminated from our diet entirely. They are not food. They're poison. Next would be legumes, and legumes also contain phytates and lectins. It can be soaked out of them to some extent, but not fully. These two, in my opinion, should be removed from the human diet. At the very least, they should be soaked, sprouted, and fermented and eaten very, very infrequently after you're healed. During the time you're healing, you avoid completely. Okay, next would be nuts and seeds. The actual reproductive organ of those plants is the most toxic part. That includes coffee beans. That includes all of the beans, seeds, nuts, because they're protecting the next generation, their offspring, which is what Mother Nature cares about. Okay, moving on. So then you have the rest of the plant kingdom, and you have sulforaphanes, and you have oxalates, and you have nightshades, and you have fungus, and you have brassica vegetables. Those are all next level on the toxicity scale. Not the worst, certainly not the best, and not non-toxic. Those things we were designed to eat occasionally when they were in season, not year round, not constantly, not the same stuff every single day. A lot of them have medicinal value. Think of nightshades, for example. We've used nightshades as plant medicine because of the poison. The poison is the medicine. We're only designed to have it at certain points when it's necessary, but not a staple. Then you move to your non-toxic fruits and vegetables. Things like olives, avocados, zucchini, cucumbers if you peel them, citrus fruits, berries, fruits that grow very high in trees. We like green apples, things that grow tubers and squashes that grow on the ground or underground but have a hard exterior. So your pumpkin, your acorn squash, your spaghetti squash, those have very low toxins because they have other, low to no, because they have other defense mechanisms. Okay, so when we talk about animal-based is carnivore, all animal products, plus these non-toxic fruits and vegetables so that your body can heal. Because when you're eating lectins and phytates, you're destroying the interior of the intestine. That's what leads to leaky gut. That is the root cause of all 550 autoimmune diseases right there. Then you add seed oils, which create instant inflammation and metabolic disease, sugars, more inflammation, lower immune function, more metabolic disease. And then you add these toxic fruits and vegetables that erode the body's ability to absorb nutrients and to be healthy. So not all fruits and vegetables are bad, and they're not always bad, but when you are already in a diseased state, they are exacerbating all of your symptoms. And so we eliminate anything that can be a trigger, we heal, and then we slowly, steadily, and with specificity reintegrate certain foods back in to find your consistent triggers so that you know what the perfect diet is for you. It is never going to be the standard American diet, and we never go back to the standard American diet. We never want to go back to eating breads and pastas and rices and potatoes for every single meal. There does not need to be a starch at any meal. Any meal. The bulk of our diet should always be protein. 1 gram per pound of lean body mass for every individual. That is our minimum. If we're older, if we're athletic, we need more. We use fruits and vegetables to add flavor, color, and texture just to eliminate boredom. But your primary nutrients are going to come from animal products, not from plants. You have been lied to. Okay, so that's the basis of why this is where we start. And I do recommend that people take the carnivore code class if that's where we're starting. Now, your maintenance diet, depending upon how your body manages your metabolic situation. So if you're insulin resistant, if you have a history of insulin resistance, if you have genetics that make you prone to Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and other metabolic diseases, probably a high protein keto is going to be your maintenance. If you are totally wonderful, absolutely fine, nothing's wrong with you, then paleo is your maintenance. All of those eliminate grains. Not a dirty keto, not a dirty carnivore, never one that allows seed oils or tells you that the type of fat doesn't matter. That's not good advice. So you can you can work forward through the classes, paleo, then keto, then carnivore, for people who want to put a toe in the water and understand more and are okay for it taking longer to heal. But most people, I find, want to hurry up and feel better and work backwards. So we start with the most restrictive, carnivore, go to keto, and then slowly transition to paleo, which is your lifetime sustainable maintenance. I hope that that helps. And then, of course, you can enroll in any of the classes, and we have free resources and guides on all three of those dietary types in the private client group, Bedrock Nation, under the guide section. I believe it's guide 10, 11, and 12, or 9, 10, and 11. One is paleo, one is keto, and one is carnivore/animal-based. And if you have trouble finding that, please let us know, and we will find it for you and tag you in it. Have a great day.